Hello, this is Mapping Tips for Section 106 reviews presented by the Oklahoma State Historic Preservation Office. With clear maps and accurate location data, our staff are better able to process your Section 106 review and compliance requests more quickly. This presentation will walk you through the information that should be included in the maps you submit to our office, how to find the information we need, and best practices for illustrating your project location for our review. First, for every project, we need to know the county or counties within which the project is located. Second, we need a map or maps which illustrate the general project location and an aerial map scaled to show the project and proximity to other resources. Third, we need clear and accurate location information. This can be presented as the Public Land Survey System, or PLSS, legal description, which includes the township, range, section number, and meridian, Cimarron or Indian in the state of Oklahoma, and/or longitude and latitude data provided in decimal degrees, and/or the street address of the building, if appropriate. You can find longitude and latitude for your project location, given in decimal degrees, in an internet browser with Google Maps. Visit maps.google.com and enter the street address of your property or navigate to your project location. Right-click on the marker indicating the appropriate property. If your property is occurring at a property location, or right-click on the project location elsewhere on the map. A pop-up list of options will appear, and the top level of text is the coordinate data for the location you've clicked. If your project can be more easily located with an aerial map than with the default street map base map, then look to the bottom of the screen and click on the square icon with a satellite image and a layers label to switch the base map to an aerial. You can find the legal location of your project by looking at the corresponding United States Geological Survey quadrangle map, or by downloading an overlay to Google Earth, but more on that in a minute. The Public Land Survey System is an imaginary grid used to subdivide and describe land, primarily in the western United States. In this system, the state of Oklahoma is divided into two meridians, the Cimarron Meridian in the Panhandle and the Indian Meridian across the rest of the state. Township numbers indicate the location north or south of each meridian's initial point, and range numbers indicate the location east or west. Each township and range is divided into 1 mile square sections. You can learn more about the Public Land Survey System at the address shown on this slide. On this slide, you can see an image of the Tulsa USGS quadrangle map. Township numbers are indicated along the side margins, as seen here at the border between Township 20 North and Township 19 North. Range numbers are indicated along the top or bottom margins, as seen here at the border between Range 12 East and Range 13 East. The National Geologic Map Database Project created an interactive online map where you can view and download USGS maps in the United States. The link in the lower right will direct you to this website. You can find coordinate data in decimal degrees by using Google Earth or Google Earth Pro. Add a pin and drag to the location of your project. The Edit Placemark pop-up will indicate the latitude and longitude of this location in decimal degrees, assuming your Google Earth program is set to decimal degrees. If it isn't, you can change this setting by clicking Tools near the left end of the toolbar and selecting Options. Then, under the 3D View tab in the box titled Show Lat Long, click in the radio button for decimal degrees and click OK, or Apply and then OK. Now these locations will illustrate decimal degrees. You can add an overlay to Google Earth or Google Earth Pro to view legal locations, township, range, and section data directly in Google Earth. This overlay is available through the link in this slide. If you navigate to the web address provided in the previous slide, this is what you will find. Click the PLSGE hyperlink to begin the download of this overlay. Here you see how the overlay appears in Google Earth Pro. The green lines outline each township range set, and the orange lines show the boundaries of each section. Township range and section numbers are illustrated in the overlay. On the left side of the screen under Places, you can see that this data is identified as the Public Land Survey System. You can remove or show this overlay from the map image by deselecting or selecting the radio button to the left of the Townships sublayer. Using the data in this overlay, you can also fly to any township range and section by left-clicking on TRS Search, selecting the appropriate map and meridian, entering the township range and section information, and clicking Search. In order to illustrate the location of your project, please include a context or location map, which will allow our staff to quickly locate your project site. Also include an aerial map illustrating the limits of the area of potential effect. This map will allow our staff to determine how your project area relates to any known resources in the immediate vicinity. If you can effectively illustrate the general project location and the specific project limits in a single map, then please do so. Let's look at a few maps to illustrate common issues our office sees and ways you can avoid them. The most common issues are that the project location cannot be identified with the map provided, and/or that the project location information provided is incorrect or does not match the map. This map on the left from Google Earth has very few identifying features. The township map that accompanied did not include the project location and was in fact not the correct range for this project. By including the township range section overlay in Google Earth, leaving roads labeled, and adding the name of the project and some accurate location information into the legend, which is a built-in in Google Earth, the data on this map point to the general location of the project and show the precise limits for an area of potential effect. The map on the right points to general project location areas, but doesn't illustrate the specific footprints at these locations. Additional maps illustrating the footprints would resolve the issue. This map illustrates the limits of the area of potential effect for a project and identifies a known historic property which is outside the area of potential effect. These project location maps use a topographic base map. Using a topo map helps because it embeds Public Land Survey System data into your map. Now, I'd like to provide a brief demonstration of how you can produce a clear and effective map for our office to review using Google Earth. So I'll open Google Earth Pro. And first I'll illustrate how you can fly to a project location using this TRS search, which is part of the Public Land Survey System overlay I demonstrated how to download. So I click here. I select my state and meridian, which will be Oklahoma, Indian. My township, which will be 12 north. My range, which is 7 west, and my section will be 8. When I click search, we'll fly to this township range and section location. So the orange outlined area represents section 8, township 12 north, range 7 west. I can show this information by turning on the overlay data here with the townships radio button. And if my project is along this drainage, I could use the Add Polygon tool to draw my area of potential effect, which I'm just going to invent one for the purposes of this demonstration. We can change the color or how this is illustrated. I'll choose to outline it and to make the outline wider. I'll leave it white because it shows up well on this background. Let's determine the coordinate points for this location by selecting a position toward the center of my project. My coordinate data is here. Oh, I'm sorry. So let's do that again. So I'm clicking add place mark, and I'm dragging my place mark to the location I would like to provide coordinate data for. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this data together to make it easier for me. So I'm going to copy all of this and then, okay, we'll turn off that. So now I have my area of potential effect. I have coordinate data. I'd like to make sure that my map is readable and illustrates where this project is occurring. So in the lower left corner under layers, I'm going to make sure that borders and labels is turned on, and that roads and transportation is turned on, and that places is turned on. Let's see if this is too busy. Turn places off if there are too many businesses showing up here. You can zoom out a little bit more. Let's see what this looks like if we go to print this map. So I would like for my township and range to show up together in this map, but perhaps, there we go. We'll just drag it. You can see my section, the township and range. You can see the numbers for some of the surrounding sections. You can see major roads. You can see that this is El Reno. So let's say my project is El Reno Park drainage. This is in Township 12 North, Range 7 West, Section 8. And I'm just going to paste the coordinates that I determined for the center of my project location. And so this information now is showing up in the upper left-hand corner of my map. My legend is automatically illustrating my project area, but let's rename it. Drainage project APE for area of potential effect. And now this map pretty clearly illustrates where my project is located. I may wish to use a second map that closely shows the project limits so that I can clearly illustrate that my project is not involving any of the houses, if that's the case, or is, if that's the case. And then I can print this map or save it as a PDF here. And that's done. On this slide are links to 3 useful map resources. The first is the National Register and Determinations of Eligibility Properties in Oklahoma map, which is maintained by the Oklahoma SHPO and available through our website. The second is the TopoView website, which I mentioned earlier. This website includes an interactive online map where you can view and download USGS maps in the United States. And the third link will take you to a search for general land office maps maintained by the Bureau of Land Management. Links to additional map resources are provided in this slide: the Oklahoma Historical Society Map Archives, Sanborn Fire Maps through the National Archives, and the Oklahoma State University's digital map collection through the university's library. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. If you have any questions relating to this presentation or to a Section 106 review and compliance request with our office, please contact me, Christina Wyckoff, at kwyckoff@okhistory.org. Thank you.